Hello and welcome to the All for the Culture podcast. We got a special guest in the building today. A H-Town legend, a legend in the rap game, period. One of my favorite rappers from Houston. Somebody that I'd have met before at a video shoot. I had the honor of meeting a couple times before this. We got Lil Flip in the building today.
What's up with it, my guy?
How you doing, man? How you doing,
Blessed.
man?
Can't complain, man. Working smart, not hard.
So let me ask you something, man. We like to start at the very beginning of someone's career, at the very beginning of someone's life. As a kid, how were you as a kid? What kind of kid were you? What kind of like 16, 17, 18-year-old were you when you were kind of becoming a man, becoming your own person? What kind of person were you?
Pretty much battling. I was like battling, going to the studio, playing sports, basketball, football, baseball.
Okay.
I was really into tennis shoes, and I'm still into tennis shoes. And I would go to Active Athlete and get the Jordans like 8 months before they come out. You know what I mean? Like I just was really into fashion. So just working, I was doing a lot. I had a lot of different jobs I was doing, man, and focus on my money and my career and family.
So what age did you start taking rap like a real serious thing, like a real, really, really serious? You know, like I'm gonna really do this for real, for real.
Middle school was like when I really just was like, okay, I'm gonna go on in, because I was making money. Like I was battling people, and the prizes used to be like 500, 1,000, 2,500. A few of them was for free, but like majority of them I won money. So I was like winning money doing battles and talent shows, and I'm like, okay, I'm 2,000 here, 3,000 here, 1,500. You know, for
In
30.
middle school.
Yeah, for 30 minutes of work. I was like, well, I mean, I could get used to this, because like, you know, with sports, you can go straight from high school to, you know, to the pros like back then or whatever. And so, but I started seeing so much money from the streets and rap. I was like, well, ain't no sense of me jeopardizing hurting my knee or any of that when I can just put these words together and still travel just like a athlete.
Okay, so I'm a big fan of yours, and I'm a big fan of yours from you know your from the very beginning, from I can do that, you know, to the way we ball and all that. What's the full, today being DJ Screw's birthday? What's the full story of actually how you met DJ Screw? How did you get to know DJ Screw? How did you meet DJ Screw?
I met Screw many times. Like, that's the thing. Like, if you come
I'm talking about that first time. Like, how'd y'all get introduced as?
It was like, I'm from Cloverland, so it was kind of like everywhere I went, he was there. You know what I mean? I was always with Botany Boys and C-Note, and I did some traveling with ESG as well. So I was always everywhere he was at. Like, we used to go to this place called Cornbreads. That's where everybody hung out and shot pool. And, you know, so, like, he would always see me. And I would always freestyle. He would, like, even, like, back at this club called Club Unique, where DJ Big Red used to DJ. We had Stadium Bowl, where Wicked Cricket was. And, like, we was always in the same places.
Yeah.
And the people I hung around was the same people he hung around. So,
Okay.
you know, he would always see me. But we really got cool. Like one night at Club Unique, Al D had a show, and I was there, and he was like, yeah, if you can freestyle, rap right now. So I rapped about what he had on, and, you know, for like 15, 20 minutes. And he was like, yeah, you the freestyle king. Like, you ain't mess up not one time. And, you know, he was like impressed by my vocabulary.
Yeah.
Because to this day, you can't find one screw tape or freestyle where I'm like on some, you know, I'ma come down. You'll never hear me say, it's that boy Flip. What, you know what I mean? Like, that's not my style. And so he always told me, like, bro, when you rap, you sound educated. You sound, you know what I mean? Like, you can keep going on and not repeat yourself. And so he just said it was just on a different level from what he heard.
Okay, yeah, for sure. I hear that. Now you talked about freestyling for 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like in the last 10 years, the art of freestyling has become different, right? It's kind of like now people say, oh, when you at Sway and you got your phone in front of you and you rapping, that's a freestyle. But a true freestyle is something off the dome.
Correct.
Off the dome, right?
Yeah, freestyles from the top of the head.
Talk about how that changed now. Why do you think that changed the way, like, how people consider, like, just people say, oh, this verse on this mixtape is a freestyle just because it's a verse and no hook. You know what I'm saying? Like how the freestyle culture changed.
I mean, like the true MCs know freestyling is off the dome.
Yeah.
No preparation, no pen and pad.
Yeah.
You know, some people consider like if they do a verse on somebody else's beat for a mixtape, then they kind of categorize it as, yes, this is the such and such freestyle. But if you wrote it, it's not a freestyle.
Yeah. My personal favorite freestyle, I'll tell you my personal favorite, and this is not because it's the studio where I met you at,
Right.
but it was the one you did in J Star Studio. You wearing the green shirt, and I remember the line, I used to shop at Mervin's or something like that. That was my favorite one. It got taken down, I don't know why, but that was my favorite one. So speaking of freestyles again, can you tell us about how the full story of that classic freestyle in the van with you, Big Pokey, Shasta, how that came about? How y'all what were y'all doing? Like, how did y'all just turn on the camera and start freestyling? Is it like?
I think we were in my excursion. Yeah, we was in the excursion. I had my camera guy with me. Like usually when I go to the Kappa, I take a camera guy with me. So we were already shooting footage for, I think I Can Do That, Sunny Day. Yeah, we were doing 2 videos, and I think we were just riding down the strip, and we pulled up. We saw Pokey, and we pulled up, and we just pulled the truck right there, and he got in, and we got our mind right, and and we just threw on the beat, and we just.
That's crazy.
It wasn't planned. You know what I mean?
Oh, it wasn't. Okay.
No. We saw him like on the I don't know, in some fucking parking lot, like walking or some shit, like, and we like, man, let's pull up on Pokey, and we just. Here we are.
Yeah. So I know enough about you. I know your early influences were people like Screw and you talked about loving Scarface, Pimp C, UGK. Who were the people that we would not expect that you listen to, like that outside of these guys that we know, like I know your love for 8 Ball and MJG. So outside of that, like who were people that we would not know that you would listen to growing up?
I mean, it'd be people like Devin the Dude, Black Sheep, Far Side, the Children of the Corn, Big L, Sade, Luther, Erykah Badu, Kenny G, a lot of Bob Marley and the Wailers, Gap Band, Frankie Beverly Mays.
A lot of classics there.
Yeah, we go back, man. To I listen to a variety. You know what I mean? Tribe Called Quest, African Bambaataa, just KRS-One, like all the classic, the Nas's, the old ones, the old Jay-Z's. I listen to a variety of music, man. Jadakiss, the Locks. You know what I mean? It just depends on what mind frame I'm in, but you
were listening to everything.
Everything. Like East Coast, West Coast, it don't matter who it is, you know what I mean?
That's the love of the culture.
Yeah.
It's the love of the culture. So, you have a good, I noticed in your songs you have a very good knack for storytelling, right? Like, some of my favorite songs are, like, one of my favorite songs, Make Mama Proud, right? Where you say, everybody wearing Air Max, Rees, and J's, but all my parents cared about was B's and A's, right? So when did that switch to when you got into sneakers and you buying sneakers yourself, but then like your parents saying like, nah, we want A's and B's, like how did that work out?
In my household, pretty much like they don't reward you if you're doing bad. You know what I mean? So, but my grades always was at A's and B's. Like a few C's and here and there, but for the most part it was A's and B's. But like I said, I always had different hustles, so I would get my certain amount of tennis shoes from my parents, but I would always have side money to get my own. And so and that line basically just lets people know, like, you got to be focused on the prize.
Yeah.
Or you're not gonna be able to get these Jordans and these nice things, especially if you're living under your parents' roof. So I was just trying to tell people you got to focus.
Yeah.
Care about your B's and A's more than you care about the Re's and J's.
Yeah, I love that line because that's something that same way my parents were. You get rewarded if you got good grades.
Right.
If you didn't,
if you didn't, you got to wear them J's for a couple more months.
Yep.
4-5 colors probably didn't came out by the time you get some more. So.
Yeah, then I think my second favorite song was I Should Have Listened because I learned a lot from that song. And it's something that I think a lot of people can relate to. You know,
Right.
you grow up and you realize like, damn, I really should have listened. So when I want to ask you, when you were writing that song, what was going through your mind? What were you thinking about, like, as far as I should have listened? Like, what were you thinking about? Where were you at that moment? Because it feels like you had to be somewhere where something happened or something. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's too emotional of a song for you. It feels like something happened or something.
Well, see, with me, like, when I get the beats, like, I just go off the emotion of the beat. Okay. So it wasn't necessarily anything happening at that time.
Yeah.
It was just like when I hear the beat, it kind of puts me in a mode of what I'm going to talk about. And that's just what my spirit told me to rap about. And I probably had like 3 million people come to me, like, as I travel the world and tell me I should have listened was their favorite record. Like, they come tell me how it changed their life. A few people told me how it changed their lives and told me how it stopped them from committing suicide. And I had a lot of parents come to me as well and was like, man, every time my kids would do something wrong, I would put on your record. I should have listened. See, Lil Flip listened. He got all his money and jewelry and cars. He listened. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, wow.
So it's dope. I love doing records.
Wow, that's crazy.
They told me, like, man, I play that for my kids every time they don't listen. You know?
Yeah, I learned. I mean, I definitely now listen to that song, and you can relate to it a lot more as you grow older, and you're like, damn, why didn't I listen? You know. So I wanted to ask you about the new Houston movement and the love of the culture, and honestly, how you feel the culture's progressed. As far as we'll stay in Houston first. As far as the new Houston movement, who you really like and who you really digging out of the new Houston cats?
It just depends on what mood you in.
Okay.
Like, if you want to hear some club shit, some turned up shit, you go jam some Beat King, you go jam some Sauce.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They turned up, and you want to hear some bars, you go jam some Propane.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What's the other guy from Houston? He do gospel. I forgot his name. Lecrae. What's his name? Lecrae. Yeah. He actually can spit. You know, a lot of his religious records don't even sound like religious records. He got a record with Ty Dolla $ign that's playing on MTV Jams. Let's see who else though. Then for the battle rap, you know, you got a guy by the name of AKs. Like he's super dope at battle, and he can rap as well. Let me see who else. You got the Dice Hoes and the Trill Sammys doing their thing. Then, you know, I do a lot of frat and college shows and stuff, so you got the Riff Raffs running, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
See, so it's like, it just depends on what mood you in. Like, when I'm on the way to the club, I want to hear a certain type of music. I want to hear some Future type stuff. I'm in the club, you know, when I'm in thinking mode, I want to hear some Nas, you know, some storytelling. So it just depends on the mood you in.
Yeah.
You know?
One question that I think, you know, a lot of people have on their minds with Lil Flip is, like, you know, you were at a national buzz, crazy when Game Over was out and all that was going on. Like, you number one on BET, number one on MTV. Why did you choose to go back to indie? Why did you like that better than the major label? What was is it just you want to be more hands on, or how did that go?
It's like, when most people get deals, they get their deal and they just get lazy and they depend on the label to do everything.
Okay.
Even when I was on a major, I still moved like I didn't have a deal. So it really don't matter to me, because throughout all this time, I kept all my contacts. See, one thing about these record companies, I could sell, you know, a gang of records, but if they have 20 other artists on their label who are only going gold or doing 150, Lil Flip project did great for us, but these other artists is not doing great. So what happens, those presidents and CEOs, they get fired. So it's like a revolving door. Mm-hmm. So the people who actually signed me, they actually got fired pretty much like as soon as I got there.
Yeah.
And so I stuck around a couple years, and it got shuffled up again, and people who were just behind the desk, they didn't really know about screw culture and the music. Like, they just know how they want to run shit, and I wasn't having it. So, you know, I did another deal with Warner Brothers. I bought myself out the contract with Sony, $2 million. And then, you know, we did another deal. But, you know, my mind frame is don't wait on nobody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't wait on nobody. We're not going to wait for the label to give us money to shoot the video. We go shoot the video on our own and show you the video and say, we shot it. We can send you the invoice. If you go give us our money, cool. If not, it's cool.
That's how my mindset is.
Yeah, we'll do some more features tomorrow. We'll replace it.
That's it. So Yeah, because I saw your Source Mag interview, your Source Magazine interview, and you were saying like how like if you want to be lazy, then be with a major, but if you want to be hands on, you want to be and you were talking about how, and I want you to just for the young artists out there, you talked about how it's not all about the money, it's about also the people.
Yeah.
Talk about that. How that's helped you in your career. The people, like, because for the young artists out there.
Because it's like I told you, I do a lot of frats, right? So for example, I do dubstep, EDM. Shout out to Critchy Critch. We do a lot of dubstep, EDM. I did some shows with Marshmello, and so we do a lot of that, man. Festivals. But what happens, like when I do these frats, like I've been doing frats since the beginning. I'll do it. And then, 10 years have passed and same frats book me, different presidents, as people graduate, life moves on. So they're like, yeah, my cousin they brought you here and I was only 5. We want to bring you back. Yeah. And then, you do it and then, 5, 6 more years. Yeah, my other brother, he's one of us now. We want to bring you to the frat house. So it goes from kids, uncles, brothers, and then, before you know it, it'll be grandpas. They be like, yeah, we want you to come do our. Yeah. So that's one example, and I always give people a great show. Yeah. It don't matter if it's 10 people in there, they go get rocked like it's a stadium. Yeah. And, I make sure I take pictures with the fans. I don't charge my fans for pictures.
Do people do that?
Of course.
Damn.
And even when I have merch, like I'll hold, like 10 extra copies of my mixtapes or whatever, and I'll give them to the staff. Because, like the security guards, the bouncers, and the bartenders, they can't stop what they doing to come take pictures, even though some do, you know what I mean? But like, I'll make sure, here y'all go, you know what I mean? Because, they people too. Yeah. So I make sure I try to,
treat everyone with respect.
Exactly, because they could have been somewhere else. They didn't have to spend their money to come watch me rap. So I want to make sure they go home like, man, that dude can freestyle. Damn, I forgot he had these hits. See, I got so many hits and classics, bro, that depending on the region I'm in, I perform different records. Yeah. Like it's records that we know down here, like the I-45 and all that. Like I wouldn't perform that record on the East Coast. Yeah. Like even though it's some Screwhead fans in New York, like it's different records I do depending on where I go.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Like,
okay.
If I would go to New York, I would do the records I got with Dipset. I would do the Certified Gangsters I got with Jim Jones and Game.
I was gonna ask you, like, how did that connection build with you and Dipset?
Man, I'm trying to think.
Y'all had a strong connection back in the day. Was it the liquor thing? Because I know y'all did the deals with the same company.
Same company. We always bumped into each other. I think how it initiated is Cameron shouted me out. He said, "Not from Houston, but I flip a little." Not from Houston, dog, but call me Lil Flip because I flip a little. Some to that effect is what Cameron said or whatever. And then I think I reached out, I bumped into him and was like, yeah, man, I appreciate that shout out. And he's like, yeah, we got to link up. And, when I would go to New York, I would hit him up and him and Jim. And, we'd go to the studio, me, him, Duke the Guard. They hooked me up with their producers, the Heat Makers. I got some beats from them. And, we anytime they was in Texas or Houston, like one time Jim had a club out here called Club Dipset during the Super Bowl. Yeah. So, it was just a natural thing, and they cool, man. They had their team. It was nothing but birds. Like when we were around, it was nothing but birds and clovers. They had their burger gangs and Dipsets, chains on, and it was nothing but clovers, man. And we run through New York going to all the clubs, just enjoying ourselves.
Y'all both had and that's crazy because y'all both had the liquor deal before now it's like now the liquor's got popular with the rappers, but y'all had it way before. I forgot what year Lucky Nights came out, and I'm so mad. I had the hat that you signed.
I know, I saw it.
Yeah, you signed that at the video shoot.
Yeah,
I caught that at one of your concerts. You were opening up for Lil Wayne, and I caught it. You had thrown it out, and but yeah, the Lucky Night. I drank it. I wish I wouldn't have drank it because I would have.
I get you some bottles of it, man.
I would have kept it. I'm gonna talk about your investing. I know you're a businessman, right? You do real estate, correct, right? But I heard you also invested in a tech app as well.
Correct.
Yeah. Can you talk about that tech app that you invested in and what it is and what it's about?
Yeah, I got 2 apps. One app is called Flips app. One app is called Langbridge app, and one of them it's like a texting app for people to you put assign a picture for each word. So when you text it to a person, it's like a flip book. That's the Flips app. Okay. And then the newest app I did is called Langbridge. It's for fans to communicate like with their favorite artists, and because it's a language barrier. Okay. So with that said, like it converts whatever language, and
that's cool.
And you can talk to promoters. Like I've done I would say I've probably done 15 to 20 collaborations with different artists who we met through the app. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Some in like Afghanistan, some in Ghana, like all over the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is that? Like you work with any and everybody. Like I rarely like I see you on a lot of people's songs. Like you really willing to work with anybody and everybody. Why did you come with that mind state in the game versus a lot of other rappers who like, nah, once I get to a certain level, I'm this level and that's it.
My motto is I'm willing to work with anybody that's serious.
Okay.
I don't forget where I come from, right? Yeah. So like I remember when I wanted to, do records with bigger artists, and I would look at TV like, man, I want to work with this person, man. I just want to be in the same room with this person. And like majority of the people that I looked up to, once I finally got to be around them, I got to see they was pieces of shit, like real shit. And so I would see how they would treat their fans, how they would treat their people. You know what I'm saying? How it was just all about them. Like they didn't like. It's people right now that won't put nobody on their projects or let nobody come perform no shows, won't shout them out, won't wear their clothes in line. Like it's people that are real egotistical. They don't even want you around because they feel you can rap better or like, I don't care. Hell, yeah. Like if you great, be great. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's my motto. So I just remember being in the up and coming rappers' shoes. And so I never forget that. You know what I'm saying? Like when these guys, you got guys that really come to you and they sit there and tell you their life story and how your music influenced them, and then they tell you like, "Hey, bro, this is all I got."
Yeah,
I'm willing. I had one guy I met. He was supposed to pay his. I think he was supposed to go pay some money on his bond or some shit like that, and he was like, "Man, I'm doing a verse with you."
Yeah,
you know what I mean? He spent his bond money to do a verse with me. You know what I mean? And he ended up doing good or whatever, but. So like when I'm looking somebody in their eyes, I can pretty much tell if they bullshitting. You know what I mean? If I feel like they being honest and they really serious and they're not gonna just do a record with me and it just stay on a hard drive and then not come out. You know what I mean? But yeah, I just can't forget for where I come from.
That's crazy. That's big. I'll tell you personally that when your Underground Legend came out, it was what I used to get through my first kidney transplant.
No,
That's what I really used to get through my first kidney transplant.
Appreciate it.
That was that album. I heard you were gonna be in the you on 5,000 albums. You gonna be in the Guinness Book of World Records? Yeah.
When it's all said and done, I got the most records with any artist. Like
that's crazy.
I do probably. I'd say now. I say within the last 5 months, I probably do like eight verses a week.
Oh, wow.
But prior to that, like a year ago, I was doing like 15, 20 a week.
A week?
Yeah, just.
How many days in the studio? Every day, every night in the studio?
I mean, I tell them I'm gonna give you a 24-hour window.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they send their money. You go have your verse back within 24 hours. But me, you know what I'm saying, I like to go and get that shit out the way. Yeah. So I'll go and get it out the way. But if I can't, like if I'm traveling or some shit, then I'm professional enough to call them and be like, hey. I'm such and such. I'm over here. It's gonna be one more day, but I got you. You know what I mean? Because the worst thing you can do to a person is, if you got their money, they go look at you like you playing. If you don't keep them abreast of what's going on. So but yeah, I do that 24-hour turnaround shit, man.
So I did not know this, but you paint?
Yeah, I paint.
How long have you been painting for? When did you start? And I know you stopped for a while. Why did you stop? And talk about that. I didn't know you painted.
Yeah, I've been painting all my life.
There's a lot of Houston artists that painted. I know Killer Cali.
Yeah. He drew me some pictures back in the day.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been Kyle could paint, man. I've been knew he could do that. And draw and shit. Yeah, I've been painting all my life though. Like all my tattoos, all my jewelry, all my album covers, I would draw them. T-shirts and my stage show props, even my grills and all that. Like I would draw them, and I stopped because I was just focused on money in the streets, just trying to get money. And I mean, where I come from and the people I hung around, seeing what they had, you know, it influenced me and made me want to have it as well. And so, you know, I had to put the paintbrush down and focus on shit that was gonna make some money. And so I just kind of eased back into it, because if I'm the type of person, I'm gonna only be bored for like 1 second, and then I'm gonna find something to do. So painting, I'm able to still do what I do and paint. I actually painted last night.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you like to paint?
It depends on the mood. Some people do abstracts. I do flip stracks.
You do flip stracks?
Yeah.
Okay. We need to get one for the studio, man.
I got you. My goal was to paint one. I was gonna paint one last night. And actually bring one for y'all today. Actually.
Yeah, we got one up there of Houston. Some barber did that one. We got that one with like the 8 screws.
But I'm gonna do you some.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, I was working on this painting with 3 of my new album song titles on it, and I want it to be like super different. So this is my 4th day. I told myself I'm gonna spend like 5 days on it. So I've been trying to come up with something new and different. But I'm gonna paint y'all something. You and Ron C.
Why do you feel that Houston is such a indie market, like an independent market? Why do you feel that so many Houston artists are able to thrive independently?
Hustlers. Me watching DJ Screw go to car shows and have 10,000 tapes, 20,000, and come back with 150K, and I actually helped him count some of that money.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you just gotta not be lazy, man. You gotta really be able to step out and just push your product and make sure your product is A1, man. And, you know, people support you, man, if you show love. And it's like our own world, you know. We don't have to go outside of Texas to maintain a career or even to maintain revenue. Yeah. You know, hustlers out here. So I love Texas, man. And this is where I'm from, man. We born hustlers. And then another reason I would say is, unlike New York, like in New York, they have all the major labels, so you can go to Def Jam and go take your demos and all the big labels. Like, you know, we don't have the major labels down here. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We learn from rap a lot, right? So that's our major label to us. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They did all the shit they did with their own money, got their music spin, you know what I'm saying, and different shit like that. So, you know, I learned from the best.
Yeah. At the rate that you release a lot of music, release a lot of albums, how often are you in the studio? Like, because it seems like with the rate that you make songs and put out albums, you must be in the studio all the time. And then you put out a lot of double albums, and then your albums always got like full tracks, you know, like 17, 18, like
right.
It seems like you're very fast at making music. Right?
Yeah. It was a time I was always in the studio, like every day, all day. I still got a whole bunch of records that I haven't even put out. But as of lately, like you say, I record at a fast pace, but I've been working on my new double album. Yeah. I ain't dropped a double album in 12 years, but it's called King Life. And I decided to spend like 2 months. So I ain't really been doing shows, probably do a couple a month, but I've been like focused on my album, recording, writing, brainstorming with producers, and I get a whole bunch of people in the room who come up with hooks, and we just come up with the dopest shit. You know, everybody put their egos in their back pocket, and we just sit there and bounce ideas. Yeah. So, you know, but yeah, I just believe in you. It's like martial arts. It's like boxing. You got to stay at it. You know, me doing all those mixtapes, like when I was first doing them, what's so crazy? My old business partner, like when I was doing all these mixtapes and the other artists that was on the label at the time, you know, I'd be like, y'all come get on some of these freestyles with me and Big T and Shasta. And they like, man, we focus on real music, man. We go make our real records. Nobody wanted to do it. So I dropped my, you know, Lil Flip mixtapes. That boy go off. Have you seen me in the vibe? We blow Endo. Three-Headed Monster, me, Lil Ron, and Big T. Like all these. So by the time I got to like the 4th mixtape, my business partner, he was like, man, why don't you put the other artists on them mixtapes? I was going to Music Mania in Austin, man, dropping out boxes.
I remember that, yeah. Man,
picking up 4 bands every time. Boom, 4 bands, 5 bands, boom, boom, boom. Like, and then I go to Big T, you know what I'm saying, Bazaar, go to them, both of them. We $8,000. You know what I mean? And
it puts a smile on my face hearing you talk about that old stuff, man.
So nobody wanted to get on the mixtapes, and they started seeing all the extra money I was having and buying all these jerseys, and they like, man, why don't you put the other artists on there? I'm like, hey, I've been telling y'all to come. And I was like, come on. You know, so that's what I come from, man.
So let me ask you something, and you know, you could go as far as you want into this question. There was a time when, you know, a lot of Houston cats didn't get along, and then that Pimp C record came out. You know, do you think that is what brought Houston back to being all together and all not having problems with each other? Would you give that the credit for?
I wouldn't say the record did it. It's more so about individuals.
Okay.
Because a person can get on anything and say whatever they want to say. Both individuals that's in the whatever issue it is have to be willing to come to an agreement.
Okay.
You know what I mean? What that did, that rest in peace to Pimp C.
Of course, rest in
what
peace.
he did do is spark conversation to let people know how he felt about the situation and to let people know it's cool and how he felt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we had already sat down and had different meetings, different issues that certain artists already had anyway. So it was pretty much done anyway. But it sparked a lot of talk and it was brought to the public. But at the end of the day, it takes both individuals or whoever's involved to just say, man, you know what, let's move past that. You go your way, I go my way. You know, that don't mean we got to be buddy, but if we in the same vicinity, you know what I'm saying, I'm king enough to speak and say what's up and vice versa, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, you just got to be a grown man about it or a grown king, whichever one you are.
Yeah. What do you think it's going to take for Houston to get back? Like, remember in 2003, 2004 when you Chameleon, Mike Jones, all y'all were ruling the airways, ruling the TV stations. What do you think it's going to take for Houston to get back to a national spotlight? Like, we got Travis Scott, but it's just one person, and it's not really putting a national spotlight on Houston like it had back then.
Well, I think one thing it starts with DJs. Making sure you play the Houston people records, but it also starts with the artists making sure these records are dope enough to be played. You know what I mean? And so with that said, you know, long as we support our own, it's cool to play other people music from out of town, but make sure you show the love to your hometown people that are actually taking it serious and got the right, you know, professional sound shit. That's one thing. And then two, you know, I say the promoters, like, you know, like a lot of times promoters, they'll pay an artist that's not even from our town 15, 20K to come to a club, and the artist will come, spend 15, 20 minutes, won't perform nothing, won't take no pictures, but then you turn around and you try to book legends from the same city, and then you want to try to pay the legends crumbs.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I call myself the Floyd Mayweather of this rap shit. Like, I'll book myself before I let you give me crumbs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I know all the club owners as well. Like, if I want to do a show at a club, you know what I mean? So the main thing is, you know, you got to respect people. Some people have hits, some people have bangers, and some people have classics. And, you know, but it starts with, you know, Houston supporting its own. And then third, you know, people just got to be original. Yeah. A lot of things you hear on the radio, everybody's on some copycat shit. Nobody wants to be original.
Yeah.
People are afraid to, you know, if I step outside the box and do this, what will they think of me? So, you know, it's a combo of all them things, but at the same time, artists, you got to make sure that music up to par too. You want these DJs to play your record, you know what I'm saying? You can't be approaching them with a album and your artwork look like Lil Ray did it from the 3rd grade. You know what I'm saying? You can't be recording on a bullshit ass mic and expect them to want to play this on the radio. It got to be professional. If you can go buy you some red bottoms and some Kush and all this other shit you stunt on Instagram with, then take your ass to a real studio and tell them Flip sent you.
So you talked about the radio and everything sounding the same. Who you feeling out of the new generation, out of the new cats outside of Houston? Who's the guys you like to listen to personally?
I jam a lot of J. Cole, K. Dot. I I jam Drake. I jam Travis. I jam Migos. I jam Black Youngster. I jam Moneybagg Yo. Who else new? I be jamming some of Shock Glizzy shit. I be jamming some Vince Staples shit. I jam Future shit. I jam Wiz. I jam A$AP Rocky. He shouted me out on his intro. Shout out to A$AP Rocky.
He has love for Houston. He has.
He got super love for Houston. Who else new? Let me think. It just depends on the mood I'm in. But right now, like, hands down to me, right now I feel like Moneybagg Yo, his project he dropped called Heartless. I feel like that's the hardest shit on the streets right now. Like, that shit be on, like, I jam this shit like 4-5 times a week. Yeah.
So, do you listen to a lot of your own shit? Like, you jam a lot of your own shit, or once you make it, you kind of just...
Once I make it, I hate that shit. Because I mix my own music.
Okay.
So by the time I'm sitting there mixing, putting all this shit in order, you know, I got to hear it 100 times before it gets, you know, made. Yeah. So once it's done, I'm over that shit.
You mix your own records?
Yeah.
How'd you learn how to do that?
Shit, when people fuck over you, you learn how to do everything.
Damn.
Yeah, don't nobody want to drive you. You go teach yourself how to drive. So when engineers get to trying to overcharge you or take 4-5 days to mix, you know, like, I can't.
Yeah, you can't wait for
so I just watch. And once I realize how easy it is, you know, I'm great at painting, arts and crafts. Like, man, once I find out all you got to do is press 3 and space bar to record and know how to move a mouse, and I was paying all this damn money for studio time, I was like, man, what the fuck? Like, so yeah, it's really not hard.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you one more thing. Is like we talked about the storytelling ability. Mm-hmm. Where do you feel you picked that up from?
Man, like I told you, I grew up jamming everything. Like, hands down, you know, Scarface was one of the dopest storytellers. Slick Rick. Because
that's gotten lost nowadays, you know?
Yeah, it has.
Yeah, it has. It's gotten more to party music instead of telling stories and paying attention, I feel. So, you know, what's coming up? What do we got? I heard you got a new label. I heard you got maybe a new liquor deal. Some new what's the next for Flip?
Man, did a deal with Bel Air. Shout out to RP True, my homie. You know, I'm a Black Bottle boy, Bel Air Lux boy. I'm gonna come out with a Moscato and a Champagne next. Doing some work with this beer company as well. Okay. But yeah, we got the new company, King Life Family. We do movies. We got MMA fighters. I got my own rap battle league called Lil Flip Rap Battle League. So we doing movies, apps, MMA fighters, boxers, all kind of different shit.
Oh, okay. So you managing fighters and stuff. How do you feel about the what's your feeling on the Conor McGregor and since you do boxing and MMA? Mm-hmm. What's your feeling on that, the Conor McGregor and the
I think it's historic.
You think it's historic? I mean, but you think is it gonna just be like some entertainment shit? It's not gonna be really like a fight that's gonna really matter. I mean, because they doing boxing, they not doing no MMA,
bro,
you know?
Bro, a lot of the fights that Conor won, he won standing up.
Yeah.
So he has a puncher's chance. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Now, at the end of the day, you know, I ride with Floyd, you know. I'm down with the money team, you know what I'm saying? I've been fucking with Floyd for a minute, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. First time I met Floyd, he was like, Flip, you know what I used to ride around in my Bentley jamming? And I'm like, what? He said, I can do that. Because I used to be in Michigan all the time, Grand Rapids and all these places and shit like that. So, yeah, for him to tell me that shit while I was in Vegas, like I was in a club and I saw somebody with this big-ass horse on their chain. I'm like, who the fuck is that? And had a big-ass bracelet on because, you know, when you into jewelry, you know good jewelry from, I'm like, that's some real shit over there. And he's like, yeah, man, I fuck with you, man. And so, you know, but yeah, I think it's gonna shock a lot of people, man. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of Irish fans as well, and you know one thing about Irish people, they pride. You know, I got the leprechaun on me, clovers everywhere. Like they got pride, they got heart. They're not gonna roll over. Yeah. You gonna have to really come with it. So he gonna have to really come with it. He's gonna keep getting up. Like you see what I'm saying? Like, and so I know Floyd can do it, man. So it's gonna be a historic night.
All right. So who are the artists that now are on your label that you're putting out and that are coming out of your label?
Man, I got and the dope shit about it, man. I stopped doing deals with babies, meaning people you got to put training wheels on and all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Like the deals I do with people, we do partnerships. Okay. Like partnerships, like 50-50 down the middle. Most labels, they give you like 10%.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, nah, man, we finna get 50-50 and we finna bring what we need to bring to the table, man. So, but we're gonna do some talent shows around the world. I'm trying to find me some reggae artists, gospel, country, like every genre. So, we got a few of the artists here with us today right now. We got Sherman in the building. We got AJ, the original. Big T's supposed to be on his way, you know what I'm saying? The $1 Million Hook Man, and Freon's supposed to be on his way, But yeah, that's how we do it, man. We work. We give opportunities to people. Hey, you show up for work, you show up to do this shit, man, hey, you get a shot. Yeah. And it's on you.
I'll be honest, the one thing that I can say about Lil Flip is when I met you at the video shoot is the same way you act like right now. Like nothing changed. You have not changed since I met you years ago. Yeah. Club Rain, that Bobby Moon song came out. I don't even remember when. I think it was 2008.
Yep, we met.
2007.
Yeah.
And you have not. I really respect that, man. I really respect that you were so down to earth back then, and you still down to earth. You still humble guy. I met you at J Star Studio, and you asked me everything and talking to me, and I really appreciate it, man. You know what I'm saying?
We ain't gonna change. You can't take the money with you.
I remember you walking by me and you saw the hat. You said, "Who Lucky Night had that?" I said, "That's mine. I caught it." He was like, "Oh, let me see it." And you looked at it. You signed it. I was like, "Oh, I was so." That was like, as a kid, I was young. I just graduated high school, so that was a big thing for me to see. So I appreciate that. So what's next? What album you got coming out? What projects you got coming out?
Man, what's next is the King Life album, man. And what we doing? I'm releasing 4 EPs before I drop the album in March. So in August we go put out the K EP. Okay. It'll be 3 records. Bitch I'm the Man featuring Freon, Icy Cole, and MJG. Then I got a record called Baller featuring Big T. And then I got a record called Screwed Up. So we releasing those 3 records and the 3 videos, and we releasing the making of those records, all on iTunes. And then 2 more months we go drop the IEP. It'll be 3 more records off the album. Then 2 more months we drop the N. Then we drop the G. So it'll spell out King. And then so in March.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, so in March the whole album will come out, the double album. So right now I'm working on record with DJ Premier and Jada Kiss. I got a record with Troy Ave. I got a record I'm working on with Erykah Badu. Damn. We got Big T on there, Freon, Icy Cole, MJG. We got Gangsta Boo on it. I talked to Burner a couple days ago. I got a smoke record I want to do with me, Devin, Burner, and Be Real from Cypress Hill, So, we constructing this shit together, man. We just taking our time with this one, man, and we shooting a movie with the album, the King Life album. So it's gonna be a video to every record. We recorded the making of the album, so they get to see some of the studio shit. Us in the studio just goofing off, I'm giving them in depth. Yeah. You can see the videos, you can watch, YouTube freestyles, but I've never really showed the process of the mind frame I'm in when I'm making the album. Yeah. So we recorded 75% of the process.
Yeah, okay. This question just popped in my head because I remember we had the interview. We had an interview with Toe down here, right? And I gotta ask you this because you are the official SUC member. We know that. You're classic. He told us a story about Big Mo. He said the reason why the double cup comes from is that Big Mo could not mix his lean properly and would go back and forth, and that's the reason for the double cup.
But people don't understand that the whole double cup thing came from Big Mo. The reason he used 2 cups because he couldn't mix his lean properly.
See, everyone says it's because the cup gets weak and they poke a hole in it.
That's not even true at all.
Yeah.
The whole thing comes from Big Mo, and that's where it...
I want to ask you, is that the reason?
That's not what was told to me as far as like the reason why we do double cups. I was told, hey man, you know, like let's say you have one cup, right?
Yeah.
The duration of your cup and your ice, it melts, right? So
Yes.
it gets sticky and wet, and somebody shakes your hand, and you're like. So the reason why we use the double is so the second cup can absorb the moisture and all that.
Yeah,
so,
I've heard both, so that's why that caught me off guard. So I wanted to ask someone who been close to the culture.
Yeah, but that's probably true though. What he said, that probably happened. But you know, why I was told to do it was just simple, so we don't, you know.
Yeah, man. So I appreciate you coming out today, man. I can't wait for that next album to come out. I'm definitely gonna check out all the EPs.
Thank you, bro.
We're definitely gonna post.
Thank you.
Know,
and shout out to Papa
stuff.
Roo too. I got Papa Roo on the album and Mike D on the album. Me and Papa Roo, we got a banger for the ladies, and I got King Lil G on the album too. He from the West Coast, you know. So it's gonna be some other shit, man. All I can tell you, you know, you go hear glimpses of the old Flip. That rapping fast style that I did on By the Car, By the House, you know, I got a few verses on there where I go in and then I'm going to put a freestyle on the album as well. So it's going to be some dope shit, man. Just stay tuned.
Yeah. Flip's Instagram is like the one that makes me the hungriest, man. You'll always be at some good spots. Papa Do's, Bananas,
Timmy Chan,
Antonio's.
Frenchies, Antonio's, you damn right.
I know you know about all the spots in this town. I know. I be following you on Instagram, so I be like, damn, I want to eat that right now. This should be good. But I appreciate you coming out tonight, man, and I appreciate you being so honest and everything with us. That's real cool, man.
Not a problem, man. It's what we do, man. My life the same. When they say action, I don't have to act. I just be me.
Yeah.
Real shit.
So you can check us out at www.alltheculture.com. You can check us out at All for the Culture Show. You can check me out at Hip Hop Handicap on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. And Lil Flip.
Man, my social media is Lil Flip 713 on Instagram and Twitter. You dig what I'm saying? White Cup Gang, King Life. We up in here, man. Screwed Up Click. Happy birthday, DJ Screw. You dig?
Happy birthday, DJ Screw, man. R.I.P. Rest in peace. All for the culture. We out.